Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my page. My name is mummyB. So today I want to talk about how childcare is on a charity worker visa. This is something nobody told me. Although I have seen videos here and there about um how childcare is on any visa, like how childcare is generally in the UK. But childcare on charity worker visa, it's on another level. Simply because number one, we are not being paid, and childcare here is as expensive as every other career, because people go to school to study this. Where I came from, you can negotiate with someone on how much they are going to collect, right? You can negotiate with them on how much they are going to take for. People don't even talk about hours, you know. They get to help you take care of your child for as long as they can. Some for the old, most of the time you charge them. They charge you for the day. They charge you for the day, not like 1 hour. So how much are they going to collect per hour? Here, every career gets paid per hour. So you have to pay them according to how many hours you are going to be gone for. This is what they have gone to school to study. They need to be paid for it. But back at home, most people that do this are not learned, especially elderly people, women that have given birth to children, women that have looked after children, women that this is all they know about. They know about taking care of children. And then most times you pick them based on word of mouth, people that have used them before, people that you know personally, that you know will not harm your children. Although it's still the grace of God, but most people do this with people that they know, or people that they know, people that is recommended for you, people that are recommended for you, people that you think are good for your children. These are people that you give this job to, and then you get to negotiate on how much are they going to take, and that would be on probably weekly or monthly basis, and it's usually monthly basis from where I come from. People usually get paid per month. So you talk to the person and then they do the job for you. And they are always with your child. Sometimes you give them other jobs with that. Sometimes they get to run errands for you, because why you are actually getting childcare is because you need to go to work most times. And when you go to work, from where I come from, the job is usually like from 8 to 6. And depending on the city where you are working, you might not be able to go any elsewhere. You only have weekends to yourself, and hold up, all of that is there. Sometimes they have to be the ones to help you get things in the market, help you do other jobs, pay, um, wash your clothes. They can help you do laundry, and then you pay them all together to do all of these things. It's a different thing from living nannies. These are people that help you look after your child, and then you pay them for every other thing that they do for you. Personally, before I moved to the UK, my child already started crèche. We call it crèche in my country. He was already attending a crèche in a particular school, a primary school, but they have crèche in it, in the school. So my son attends that school, and they finish. I think it's from 8 to 4 or 5. I don't remember. So my son attends that. I pay for that, and then in the evening at that time, there's somebody that I got that works with me at work. So the person will take my son to school in the morning because I need to be in the office as early as possible. I bring my son to the office, and then she hold my son for me, and she will take him to school for me, and then bring him back after school and stay with him till I finish. So there's a place where she stays around my office where I secured for her to stay and take care of my child. Somebody that I know. So that's how we were doing it till I came here to the UK. So when I got here, I discovered that you cannot just negotiate with people for childcare. They get paid per hour. They get paid per hour. And children here start school at 3 years old. When we got here, my child was less than two. He was like a month to 2 years old when we got in. So he couldn't start school immediately. I knew that already before I came because I did all the research. I knew we needed to pay for childcare till he turns 3 before he can start school. So I knew that. So what I did was I started speaking with people around, people that I work with at the charity on how they do childcare. And they gave me different recommendations. Um, I also spoke with people where we stayed that time, people that we were staying with, our neighbors, how they were doing childcare. So they gave me numbers of people that I can call, different childminders. These are professional people. So except you have family members here who can help you with things like that, you have to pay up. So I started calling these people to ask about their prices and their hours because some people do not take children at specific times, and they cannot take your children for more than a specific time in a day because most people work 12 hours. So some childminders will not take your child for the whole 12 hours. Some will do, some don't. But fortunately for me, um, my job was, I think, 9 to 5. Yeah, 9 to 5, and 3 times a week. Also, fortunate enough, I was able to pick my own days within the week from Monday to Friday. And for those 3 days, I had to pay the childminder. So my husband was not even really involved in all of this. He just had to pay. He was working and we were paying for that. And I was not being paid for my job. So whenever I close at 5, I call the childminder and then I get my son around 5:30. So I pay the person for from 9 to whatever time I take my child from them. And for the remaining 4 days in the week, I stay with my child. So that's how we did it. But for the 3 days that I go to work, the amount that we were paying is like my husband was working and we were paying it back to somebody else because whatever amount my husband was getting paid per hour was almost the same amount this childminder also takes per hour. So childcare is one of the main reasons why some people cannot stay here abroad. Because if you see how much you are paying these people, and you have been in an environment where you don't pay this much for childcare, it feels absurd. It feels like it's then too much. It's too much. But then, on the brighter side, here they take it very seriously. People that look after your children are people that are professionally trained to look after your children. They know what to do in times of crisis and emergency. They know CPR, they know first aid, they know a lot of things. And they don't just sit down with your child. They teach them, different things. There are curriculums which they follow. Because back home, people that look after your child, they are not obligated to teach your child anything. You just look after them at for them to just be there with your children, to not wound themselves, to not go astray, to not go outside and get lost. But these people here, they are trained to look after your children and also teach them, teach them, do the best for them, so that the period in which they are not going to school is not wasted. They are teaching them how to speak, how to talk, how to express themselves, how to not cry every minute when their parents are not here. And nobody beats your child. Nobody beats your child. Nobody is allowed to beat your child. So these are the things you are paying for. And if there is an emergency, they know how to handle it. They know how to handle it. They know how to prevent emergency. And if there is an emergency, they know how to handle it. They've been trained. They've been trained, most of them, not most of them, all of them have been trained, and they all have safeguarding certificates, safeguarding for children. They all have the certificates. They've been trained on how to do CPR in cases of emergency. So these are the things you are paying for. If you look at if you look at it generally, it's not like uh, you are paying too much. If you look at it. So those are the things I was not told. And I'm making this video because somebody asked me a question in my DM on how I was able to cope with childcare while I was a volunteer. So I just thought, let me make a video so that every other person that has a question about this can have an answer. So thank you for coming to the end of this video. I'll see you on that video. Bye.